Hey guys, it's Olga. Today I'm going to show you 4 make-ahead breakfasts that are perfect for those mornings when you don't have a lot of time but still want to have a nutritious and delicious breakfast. I'm super excited to be partnering with Bob's Red Mill on this video. I've been their loyal customer for many years, so it's a big deal for me to be working with them on this video. Bob's Red Mill is an employee-owned company and they offer a huge variety of organic whole grain products. The reason I love them so much is because their products are high quality and minimally processed. A lot of them are vegan and gluten-free, so they're perfect for healthy vegan baking, breakfast recipes, and many other recipes. I get tons of my pantry staples from them, like oats, almond flour, brown rice flour, nutritional yeast, flaxseed, just to name a few. Bob's Red Mill has been really kind to offer 20% off to my viewers on all of the products that they carry. Just follow the link in the description and use the code FAB20, that's FAB20, to get the discount. The offer is valid until the end of April. I hope you guys are excited to see how I use my favorite Bob's Red Mill products for these yummy breakfasts. Let's get started.
The first make-ahead breakfast we're making are these amazing vegan and gluten-free waffles that freeze beautifully. Start by combining 1.5 cups of almond milk with 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Mix and let stand for 3 to 5 minutes. This creates a vegan replacement for buttermilk. After 5 minutes, add the almond milk to a blender and follow with the rest of the wet ingredients. So we will need 2 ripe bananas, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, and 2 tablespoons of almond butter. It's important to add the wet ingredients first so that your blender mixes the batter properly. Next, add 4 cups of rolled oats. I'm using the gluten-free rolled oats from Bob's Red Mill. I've been buying these exact oats for years. You guys might know that I have a gluten sensitivity, so I only use gluten-free oats in my recipes. So after the oats, we will need to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and a pinch of salt. Blend on high speed for 20 to 30 seconds. And your batter for the waffles is ready. It's quite thick, as you can see, and it will thicken up even more as it sits. Lightly oil your waffle maker. I usually use coconut oil or grapeseed oil for this. Preheat to a medium setting. Pour about a cup of batter and spread it around to make sure that the entire surface of the waffle maker is covered. Cook for 8 to 10 minutes or until the waffle turns golden brown. This is the color that the waffles turn once they are ready. Remove from the waffle maker and place on a plate or a cooling rack. Continue cooking the rest of the batter the same way. I usually end up with 4 large waffles, but of course this will depend on the size of your waffle maker. I actually love how these waffles look. The color is so appetizing. Once all of the waffles have cooled down, I place them on a baking tray covered with parchment paper and put them in the freezer overnight. The next morning, I divide them between separate freezer bags. Freezing them this way prevents the waffles from sticking together. When you're ready to have the waffles for breakfast, simply put one in the oven to warm up for a couple of minutes, or use a toaster if your waffles can fit into it. Place your warm waffle on a plate and decorate it however your heart desires. I'll show you one of my favorite ways to eat the waffles. So first, I top them with vegan vanilla coconut yogurt. This combination is so good. You guys have to try it. Then I add a mountain of berries. This time I used blackberries, raspberries, and wild blueberries. And finally, I drizzle everything with maple syrup. How incredibly yummy does this breakfast look? And it takes less than 5 minutes to put together in the morning. I usually eat only 1 waffle at a time. Trust me, it is very filling since each waffle contains a cup of oats. And if you add the yogurt and the berries, your tummy will be very satisfied. Not bad for a make-ahead breakfast, right? For breakfast number 2, where I'm making sweet potato breakfast burritos. Start by baking 1 large sweet potato. I have a video for how to bake sweet potatoes perfectly every time. Check out the link in the description if you want to take a look. Meanwhile, dice half of an onion and 1 green bell pepper. Heat some grapeseed oil in a pan and add diced onion and 1 minced garlic clove. Sauté for 3 to 4 minutes over medium heat. Add the pepper and continue cooking for 5 minutes. Next, add 3 cups of spinach and cook until it wilts. Then I add 1 can of black beans, which I drained and rinsed. And finally, half a cup of salsa. I season everything with cumin, chili powder, oregano, salt and pepper. Mix everything well and cook for another 2 minutes. As always, the exact measurements and directions to all of the recipes will be on my website at fablunch.com. You can find the direct link in the description. Remove from heat and let cool down. When your sweet potato is baked, peel it and place in a bowl. Mash with a fork or potato masher. Then add 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. This is another staple I get from Bob's Red Mill. Nutritional yeast might not sound so appetizing, but it actually has a really lovely cheesy flavor, so it's a kitchen essential for a lot of vegans. It's also a great source of vegan vitamin B12 and protein. I personally use it for a lot of my dishes whenever I want to add some cheesiness. To my sweet potatoes, I'm also adding some chopped cilantro, salt and pepper. Mix everything well. I then let the sweet potato mixture and the bean mixture cool down before I put them into containers and into the fridge. In the morning when I'm ready for breakfast, I take a gluten-free tortilla wrap and place the sweet potatoes and the beans on top. You can roll up the tortilla, but to be honest, I usually don't do it because these gluten-free tortillas are very fragile. They break as soon as you roll them. You can see the one on the right starting to crack slowly. So what I do instead is just place the open-faced tortilla in the oven and heat it up for a couple of minutes. Once everything is warmed up, I add a few avocado slices and some nutritional yeast on top. I then gently fold my tortilla, dip it in salsa, and enjoy. This is another yummy and filling breakfast. I thought it was a good idea to do a savory recipe since not everybody enjoys sweet things for breakfast. But this of course can also be your make-ahead lunch or even dinner. For breakfast number 3, I'm going to show you how to make creamy coconut oatmeal. And this is not going to be a boring overnight oatmeal. It's going to taste really delicious. You want to start by adding 3/4 cup of rolled oats to a jar. I'm using the same gluten-free oats from Bob's Red Mill that I used for the waffles. Then I add 1/2 cup of almond milk and 1/2 cup of coconut milk. Mix everything together. Cover with a lid and place in the fridge overnight. Soaking your oats reduces the amount of time you need to cook them in the morning. You can definitely enjoy these oats cold right out of the jar, but I personally prefer my oatmeal warm, especially in the colder month. So when I'm ready to eat it, I empty the jar into a small pot and turn the heat to medium. The oats take about 3 to 4 minutes to warm up, which is much quicker than cooking unsoaked oats for 10 to 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I add 1 ripe banana and mash it with a fork. The banana adds sweetness and more creaminess to the oatmeal. I also add a tablespoon of almond butter, some cinnamon, and vanilla. Mix everything well and transfer to a bowl. You can top your oatmeal with any fruits that you'd like. I had some fresh figs in the fridge, so I thought they would look nice on top of it. I also added some pistachios and of course a splash of maple syrup. This oatmeal turns out very creamy and very comforting. It's also a really nutritious breakfast since the oats are high in fiber, protein, healthy fats, and antioxidants. They have anti-inflammatory properties, can help lower your blood pressure, and even reduce the risk of heart disease. Finally, I'm going to show you a chocolate smoothie that I've been loving lately. Smoothies are already quick to make, but you can also prep some components to make the process even faster. I'm making 2 portions of the smoothie today. So I start by peeling 2 bananas and breaking them into smaller pieces. I add 1 banana to each of the containers together with 1/3 cup of blueberries. The containers go into the freezer until I'm ready to make the smoothie. I add quite a few superfoods to the smoothie, so to make things faster in the morning, I measure out and combine all of the dry ingredients in 2 small jars. To each jar, I'm adding a scoop of chocolate protein powder from Bob's Red Mill. I recently got to try this protein powder for the first time and I was pleasantly surprised how good it tastes. I usually don't like adding protein powder to my smoothies because I think they ruin the taste, but this one tastes really good. It's made using pea protein, chicory root fiber, chia seeds, and probiotics, and contains 20 grams of protein and 12 grams of fiber per serving. I've been trying to eat more protein recently, so I'm definitely excited to make more smoothies with this guy. To each jar, I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of rolled oats, same good oats as before, a tablespoon of flaxseed, this one I got from Bob's Red Mill as well. I like adding flaxseed to my smoothies and salads. It's a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, lignans, and fiber. It supports your heart, helps to control cholesterol, and is high in antioxidants. Finally, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of cacao powder. You can store these jars in the fridge or at room temperature until you're ready to use them. To make the smoothie, I add 1 cup of almond milk to the blender. Then I add the frozen banana and blueberries and the dry superfoods mix that we prepared. I also add 2 dates to make the smoothie sweeter, a little bit of vanilla, and a tablespoon of almond butter. Finally, I add 1 big handful of spinach. This is a great smoothie to hide spinach in because you don't taste it at all and you still get to enjoy the benefits. Blend everything until smooth. Yes, the spinach does make the smoothie a brownish green color, but if you can look past it, it tastes absolutely amazing. A real chocolatey treat.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more healthy vegan recipes if you haven't done so already. Thank you to Bob's Red Mill for sponsoring today's video. Again, if you guys want to get 20% discount, just follow the link in the description and use the code FAB20. I would highly recommend you check them out if you haven't tried Bob's Red Mill products. All of their products are really high quality. They're also all certified kosher and non-GMO, so you know for sure you're getting the best deal. I love you guys so much. Please let me know if you try any of these recipes by commenting down below, and also post a picture on Instagram and tag me in it. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I will see you in my next video. Bye.